Almost. That's so weird. Yeah. Crazy.
All right, we are live on YouTube. All right.
I don't see it.
I see it.
Just refresh it. Just refresh it.
Oh, yeah.
Questions. Can you go ahead
Yeah.
And all right. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to figure these things out real quick. All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm just.
Phoenix, Arizona, literally right across the street from the Phoenix Sun Stadium, and all the clothes are like right outside the building. You have an extra room, right? Yeah, a whole separate spot, pretty much, like private bathroom, kitchen.
All right. What's up, everybody? I know you guys are here watching, so give me 1 second. We're about to start real soon. Give me 1 second. All righty. I'm just getting things ready, collaborated with the. All right, let me press the record button. I can record this.
What do I look?
All right, recording is in progress. I want to make sure my sound. Hey, give me. Let me know if you guys can hear my my sound. I'm gonna play my sound effects. You guys heard that tech sound? All right. Okay. We are live. We are recording. Ladies, you guys ready?
Yes.
All right.
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are live. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cover Cloud Podcast After Dark Session. You guys already know my name is Will. I'm the host of this show. Please, if you love this video, love the content, you love this show, please like and share this video. I'm trying to reach as many people out there to try to find out about love, dating, and modern dating relationships. And also, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please check out all the previous After Dark Session shows that we do in the past. We have a lot of great and fun conversations about modern day dating. I'm excited tonight, y'all. We have a great show for you guys, and we have some beautiful guests all around the world. Beautiful cast tonight.
I can help you out. I can help you out. I can help you out.
Yes, we got an all Filipino and Hispanic cast tonight, and they can help you guys out tonight to find love and figure out your own relationships based on what we discussed today. But nevertheless, before we start the show, don't forget, I want to make sure we remind everybody that's watching live, this is for mature adult audiences only. Oh yeah, you guys already know what time it is, y'all. So if you're under the age of 18, I need you to put yourself to bed right now. This is for mature and adult audiences only. That's why it's called the After Dark Session. We do it after dark, but we have real, unfiltered, and raw conversations about dating, sex, and relationships. So maybe tonight you can figure out why you're still single. I know this struggle is real, y'all, but nevertheless, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm excited to have a great show for you guys. We have some beautiful ladies, beautiful guests joining us on the show. But before we start the show, you guys already know who watch my show. We always have to set the mood real quick. Since we're talking about dating, sex, and relationships, I want to make sure that everybody's tuned in. Make sure everybody listen up for the show. I'm gonna play my theme song real quick. Everybody loosen up and let's get ready for a great show tonight. Ladies, I hope you got you guys a dance moves real quick. It's time to bring it out. So let's get it started. Hey! Hey! All right. I hope everybody's loosened up. I hope everybody's ready for a great show tonight. Before we start the show, you guys already know we have everybody that do follow me and do watch my show live. Don't forget about the super chat, y'all. You guys can show some love and support to your boy and donate to my podcast and directly to me. You guys already know my ultimate goal one day is to get my own podcast studio. So all your generous donations to my show will go directly and reinvested back to get my podcast studio, and we can have some real live shows. And maybe one day I can invite these ladies, they can come down to San Francisco one day and we can have a real live show in the future. So if you want to show some love, please don't forget, drop a super chat. And don't forget, I will be watching the super chat. I will be monitoring the super chat in the comments. And every single time you do drop a super chat, I'll make sure to take the time out the show to read your chat and read your comment and give you a shout out to you and say thank you. Thank you so much, because I wouldn't have made it this far on my channel without the support you guys show me. What if it's positive and negative? At the end of the day, for me, is like I said, I really appreciate anybody that's watching, whether you agree or disagree. But yeah, to show some love, drop a super chat, and I'll definitely make sure to take the time out the show to give you the shout out to you and read out your comment live on the show. And then of course, if you ask a question, I'll make sure that we can talk about that question and I bring it up to the ladies and they can answer your questions. So show some love, show some donations real quick. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much. But yeah, let's start the show, ladies. Yeah, we'll get it started. So ladies, we are back. We are ready to go. So let's introduce ourselves real quick. So go ahead and introduce yourselves real quick. Your name, age, what do you do? And of course, a lot of people watching live, so they want to find out your relationship status. So Ashley, go ahead. Start it off. Introduce yourself.
I am Ashley. I am 26 years old. I'm in the medical field, and I am currently going through a divorce.
All right. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for making the time to be on the show. I'm excited to have you on the show tonight. Carla.
So I'm Carla. You already said it. I'm Carla. I'm 25. I am single. I've been single for like a year, and I'm doing real estate right now.
All right, nice. Okay. All right. So thank you, ladies, for jumping on. I really appreciate you guys. And I know we have one more guest joining us tonight. She'll be joining us later. Let me just check her real quick, just to make sure that. Okay, yeah, she'll be joining us later tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, and then you guys be able. I'll have the opportunity to introduce her real quick also, and we can add another guest to our panel. So we got a full guest list tonight. So ladies, I hope you guys ready. We're gonna start it off with a hot topic, hot question. So I got a very hot question for you guys to start it off. So I know, Ashley, you said that you're going through a divorce.
Yeah.
Carla, you've been single. So maybe this question, it's gonna be like maybe the perfect question to ask you guys.
I've been single, but I've been dating.
Okay. All right. So you're still looking. You're still looking. All right. All right. So, ladies, my first question I want to ask you is, so this Wednesday I did a whole live show, and the topic I discussed on my show was, what do modern women bring to the table? So I pretty much did a show, and we just talked about, is it worth it today for the average, for the man, for the man today, is it worth it to marry the modern woman today in 2021? So my question to you, ladies, is it worth it to marry a man today in modern day 2021? Is it worth it for you? Do you believe that the modern day men you see today in 2021, is it worth it to be in a long-term relationship with him? And is it worth it to marry him? So based on what you see of the modern day men, how men are behaving in 2021, is it worth it today? So I think it was a perfect question to ask you guys.
Ooh.
So that's my question. So that's my question started off. So yeah, is it worth it today to date the modern day man 2021 for a long-term relationship? And eventually, is it worth it to marry the men that you see today? That's my question.
Well, for me.
And last, yeah, and why not? So answer yes or no, and then why or why not? Why you don't think, or why you do think it's worth it? Go ahead. Yep. Go ahead, Ashley.
For me, I think it's worth it if you make it worth it. So with me, today's society is just really superficial.
Okay.
I don't a lot of people don't really focus on the effort that the person brings in, and all they focus on is what they could get out of it.
Okay.
So I feel like if the person is more focused on the other person rather than what they want themselves,
Mhm.
it would be worth it. It'd be worth it if a person is fighting for it.
Okay. So can you elaborate like specifics? Like, if you said that if it's like, what are the men showing to you specifically that you don't think that they're worth it, or they're not putting the time and energy to make it work?
Like they're just focused on the, like, I get it. You want to have fun. I get that. At the same time, like women like me,
Mhm.
I have 2 kids. I work full time. I'm about to be going back to school full time. It's like we don't have time for all of that. Like with me, I would want to see a guy who puts in that effort
Mhm.
to go ahead and make himself known in my life rather than somebody who's just focused on them, like just themselves. Like with me as a single mom going through a divorce, like I am myself, but I'm also focused on my kids. I'm focused on giving them future. If a person is with me on that same level, then I could work with that.
Okay.
I could work with that rather than someone who's down here just having their fun.
So I'm just trying to read what you're saying. So you're pretty much saying that the guy's not focused on the future. He's more focused on just having fun.
He needs to be focused on the future and his future family.
So you're talking about like finances.
Not only finances, it's more of like working himself up to have that family.
Yeah, to be a great father, right?
Yeah, a great father. And so that it doesn't really necessarily have to be finances. It could be personality wise, it could be mentally, it could be emotionally. He just needs to be ready.
So what you're saying is like a lot of men out there are not men. They're like still in their like boyish ways. You're still a boy, still playing around, messing around, having fun, and
like guys,
and not going
guys my age, like I've noticed that the people that I went to school with, they're not really focused on that yet. Like we're what, 25, 26, 27. You should be at that stage. For me, you should be at that stage where you should want a family now, where you should have your not necessarily have your life figured out, because I don't really have mine all figured out. I'm working towards that though. Now, if I see that he's working towards that, then that's something I can work with. Yeah.
So when you say fun, like what does fun mean? What is it like? What does that mean?
Just going out, like having multiple women, like just not focused.
Oh, so you're talking about multiple women, and you talk about cheating?
Not necessarily cheating, but just more like just people who don't mean anything to them.
So the men are
like one night stands, like or like jumping from relationship to relationship.
Oh, okay. So like it's not really a committed, like they're not committing to the relationship.
They're not committing themselves.
To the relationship. Okay. And then when you said fun, like also, so you just like, so you mean like the men today?
Partying stage.
Oh, people still partying.
It's a partying stage. Like I've never been into that. I have never really had my mindset on, just going out and having fun, going out drinking, this and that. Like when I drink with my family.
Yeah.
I drink with people that I'm really, really close with. I don't go out clubbing. I don't, I don't do all of that.
Yeah.
I've never been into that scene. So like if a man will go ahead and have that same mentality as me, like, well, it's just, I like I said, I could work with that.
It sounds like you like you like traditional men. You like traditional men?
Yeah.
That they they don't like partying. They're simple. They just want to go to work, come home. They just want to be with their kids. You come home to a family and their wife, and just really simple. They're not worried about the superficial stuff that's going on in the modern day world with social media. They're just simple people. Simple men. They just want simple things, a life, a family, and he's just working on himself. And everything he's doing is just for the family and the benefit of his happiness and the happiness of his family. You looking so that that's what this so a lot of the men today, the modern day men today, they're especially the younger men, they're all focused about social media, clout, having fun, posting, flexing, and not really focused on themselves and the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so that's something you see. Anything else you want to add to that?
No.
What else? What else? Any other things do you feel like the modern day men? You don't think it's worth it? You mentioned having matured, they haven't grown yet. They're still boys. They're still focused on the fast life. Being with other women and being with other girls.
Also, I've noticed that a lot of them don't take like that much responsibility for whatever they do. Like when they know what us women want, with women, like as complicated as we may seem, we're pretty simple. We're pretty simple about like what we want from a relationship. So
what is that?
when
What do you want? What is that? If it's simple, you said
communication,
simple.
being honest, just being open, and just don't fucking cheat, man.
There you go.
Hold up to it.
So men, a lot of men cheat. A lot of men out here are cheaters, huh?
Yeah, like the good, it's the good ones, man. It's always the good ones that always we just get bit. We always just get bit.
Dang.
So just be open, be open, be honest, and just don't cheat, man. If you're gonna cheat, just let the woman go already. Just let her go. There's no use in holding on to her if you're gonna go ahead and disrespect her.
Yeah,
That's true.
There's no use in that, because at the end of the day, you're just wasting both of your guys' time when somebody else could go ahead and make that person genuinely happy.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how I think of it.
Okay. All right. So a lot of guys are, you're seeing a lot of guys out here cheating, wasting time. And I think that's a good point, right? Like that's one thing I always tell people, like, if you're gonna cheat, just be single,
Seriously, just be single, man.
if you're gonna cheat and for a fact that you're not ready for a long-term committed relationship, just be single. Why put yourself in a position where you're gonna cause extra drama and hurting somebody else along the way? Just be single,
like,
get it out of your system, and then
all three of us women over here, like, she's going to school. I'm pretty sure she has a job too. I have a full-time job. I'm going back to school full-time. I have 2 kids. The other person that's about to come on, she just got off of work. Like, she's just about to be home. It's like, women like us, we don't have the time to play around with the BS. If you're gonna be in our lives, be in our lives. Be honest. Just don't screw us over. That's all we ask.
Yeah.
That's all we seriously ask for. Like, hardworking women, that's all they really ask for, because at the end of the day, women have this mentality, which I'm not saying that it's bad, okay? I'm not saying it's bad at all, but we have this mentality of we don't need a man in our lives. We may want a man in our lives, but that being said, if we want you in our lives, don't take that for granted.
Okay. All right. No worries. All right. Anything else you want to add? Why Molly, man, 2021?
Just be open, don't cheat.
All right. She said, just be open and do not cheat. All right. She came out with the guns.
That's funny.
All right. So that's Ashley's take. Carla, same question. Why do you believe that the modern day man 2021, is it worth it? Why or why not?
But I'm like debating, because I don't know if it's worth it or not, because so like my part is I'm like hopeless romantic and stuff, and like I feel like yes, I will want to have like a wedding and like all these things and stuff, but then it's like, I mean, it does matter if the effort is like in both of like me and him, because I mean, I know that it can be possible. Like for me, before I had a long distance relationship, and it was like 2 years, like And it was crazy because like I didn't had a car before, and I used to take the bus to see him.
Mhm.
So it was just crazy that like, you know, like I would make an effort and like, and then he wouldn't. So I even moved out from my city to like be like, to maybe like, you know, start like dating like a regular relationship and stuff. And like,
Mhm.
but I mean, it's just never gonna work out if the other person doesn't want. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think I think it's just like nowadays I actually don't really see much people getting married because of the dating apps. And it's
Mhm.
just like I don't know, like I just it's just something that like I don't trust guys. So yeah, I don't know. I just can't.
Okay. Yeah. So you said dating apps. I know I've talked it multiple times on this show. Dating apps has created this illusion for people. They're seeking perfection. They're seeking this always a better option, and not really appreciating the people they do have in their life. So everybody's just wanting this. Like I think Ashley said, it's superficial because social media. So social media has played a big role of why dating is a big struggle. But you said anything else, Carla, you want to add? Anything more you want to add?
So yeah, I mean, I have like I have experiences because I remember dating this guy, and he like I gave him a chance and everything, but then we were dating for like a week, and then I mean I noticed that he was still using the dating app with other girls.
Yeah.
So, and I removed the app. So it was
Yeah.
crazy. Like I was like, why did I do that? First of
Okay.
all,
Okay.
like I removed the app, and he still had it. He was like talking to this girl. So it was crazy because he actually showed me that he did remove the app, but I didn't even know that he had another phone. So he
Yeah.
had the app on the other phone. And yeah, like men are smart.
Smart in a
Oh,
stupid way.
Yeah. No, yeah, because I mean, obviously I was gonna find out, and then I feel like I'm smart. So like I know that whenever people like is using their dating apps, because you can just see the location because it changes the miles.
yeah.
And that's how like much people don't know about it. But like I don't know, like just like because I'm toxic and I know. But also like, like you see their Snapchat score or like whatever, and like, it's just things that like, I mean, if I see that they change or something, like it's just a turn off for me because I have a lot of turn offs. And if I don't like the person, I'm just gonna move on.
Okay. All right. So are there I know you mentioned you mentioned the cheating, dating apps, guys talking to multiple girls. That's why you don't think a lot of modern day men are not working no more. And then let's keep it real. That's most people. I would say like if you're dating modern day 21, always have the assumption that people are talking to multiple people. That's just the norm. It's just the norm now. It is what it is.
I just feel like if you're talking to someone and like you're like, you were gonna remove the app, like just, I mean, if not, like just it's just nothing, like I mean, it's just a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean that's just the way it is because of social media. People are talking to multiple people, and then they want, and then they're just waiting to see what's their best option. For me, I'm not. I don't do social media. I don't do the dating apps. Like I'm just. Well, I can't do. I don't know how people find the time to talk to multiple people. I can't. I don't know. I'm already busy.
It's
I'm busy in my life.
Just thinking
Like
about
I
that,
don't.
like,
I will
overall,
never. Yeah. I don't know
no,
how.
that's just
I don't know
tiring.
how people do that. Like, I find it hard to talk to my own family. To talk to like multiple people, that's a whole different level. Okay, so anything else you want to add, Carla?
No.
All right. So you mentioned toxic. You said are you toxic or the men are toxic?
No, well, I mean, it's just that like since I've been cheated on and like I already know like men's
Oh,
trick.
oh,
It's
got
just
you.
like I already know, and then like it's just crazy because my intuition is always right all the time. So, I already know they're like cheating. So and then it happens. So it's like I don't know, it's just bad.
Yeah, so yeah, you just had some bad experiences. So whenever you just like there's a
Yeah, and
fear.
I like
There's a fear.
I even tell them like, hey, like I'm already tired of like being like someone's 3-day trial. you know
Mhm.
It's like you just talk to them for like 3 days and then they're gone. So
Okay, all right, no worries. All right. Anything else you want to? Is that it, or anything else you want to add to that?
so I'm like half and half in like marriage, or like, like it's worth it. I don't know. I feel like I'm half and half. It just depends, like if I find the person, but I don't know. Like honestly, I don't really believe that anymore.
Okay. So wait. Yeah. So yeah. If you don't believe, yeah, you just freshly out of some relationship. You definitely gotta go through some healing. There's good men out there. That's what I say. There's a lot of good men out there.
Like it's because the guys that I've been dating, I feel like I need a psychologist, like a psychiatrist or something. Because they like I have PTSD from the dating, the dates.
Okay, all right. So yeah, if any guys watching right now and you're a therapist or a psychologist, shoot your shot. She's she needs it right now. Not only your friendship, but also your profession.
You.
Your profession, your expertise. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing, ladies. Thank you for sharing. All right. And Carla, I do want to ask you. I know I asked the same question to Ashley. Are you? I know Ashley said that she wants a traditional man. Do you want a traditional man like her, or no?
What do you mean traditional?
Traditional men, like like our parents, like like our parents' generation. Just provider, protector, family man.
I just don't like whenever like like they do drugs and stuff, and like like
That's
they're crazy.
That's not traditional. That's not traditional.
No, I don't like that. No, like I don't like that. No, I'm not saying I like it. I'm saying that like it's just crazy because like I mean you even have to test them on their mental health.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I think that people they're normal and then I find out they're very crazy. So
yeah.
It's just my luck. I mean, yeah. And I don't know, like I mean, I guess like as long as they're normal now, like it's not even traditional anymore. It's just like I mean, I always like I actually study psychology, and like I guess like that's why I am the way I am, because I try to tell them or ask them target questions where they can tell me if they're like like their mind is working, like their brain or whatever. Like I don't know, like it's just like a lot of things that involves like if their parents were divorced or if they were like in a healthy relationship, that matters. For some reason, and like other things, and I just test them. So
okay.
I guess for me, like as long as they're normal, like
okay, no worries. All right, so I do want to ask you, ladies, because and I want to respond back to what you guys said. So you said a lot of the modern men, you guys brought up your points of why you guys believe that it's not worth it. So I do want to ask you, what's the type of men that like if you had a chance to, like, what is your like the man that you want? So, and I'm very interested to hear like the specific type of man that you want, because I do believe everybody has a version of type of man they want. So I'll start with you, Ashley. Like, what's like break it down. What's the type of man that you want to date? And we'll go specific. Let's start with the physical part. So so height. So what is the height for a man?
For me, it's
Maybe does it have to be the same height, taller, or it doesn't matter?
taller.
Height has to be taller.
Taller, because with me, I like to feel safe.
Yeah, it's a natural instinct for women.
Yeah. So it's like I feel like if he's taller or like even just like a bigger build, like it makes me feel safe. Like when I'm held, I like to feel safe.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The shoulders have to have broad shoulders. I am sorry. Those broad shoulders is just a big turn on
okay.
For me, it's like okay, like I like the broad shoulders.
Okay, so you got broad shoulders. And then how tall are you, by the way?
I'm 5'3".
So he has to be at least.
So
Can you?
it won't be hard to be
Yeah,
taller
yeah,
than
yeah, because you're short.
5'3".
All right, so
Short. I'm a fun size female, okay? So like
okay.
he
Yeah, I
has
think
to be
the average height of a guy is like 5'6" or 5'7". I think that's the average height in America.
just taller than me.
Okay.
Just taller than me.
All right. Okay. Broad shoulders. Okay.
Broad shoulders. That's really all about.
Okay.
That's all the physical. Now, like everything else, like he has to be family oriented. I'm a Christian, so he has to be God fearing.
Okay.
He really needs his priorities set. He has to be well educated because I've dealt with the non-educated for 6.5 years of my life, and I was just over it.
Okay. So when you say educated, does he have to have a college degree, or does he just have to be intelligent?
He just has to be intelligent.
Okay.
Like not necessarily a college degree, because even though I'm going to school, I know that there's a lot of very well educated people out there that haven't gone to college, or that even just has like some college experience, but they are so very well educated because they actually do their research on some things, you know. And like he has to be well educated, he has to be intelligent, he needs to know how to communicate with a woman. Okay, especially like with me, like I said, I'm a mom.
Mm-hmm.
So like communication has to be there. It has to, because my main focus is of course my kids. So if you're gonna tell me something, just tell me straightforward. Like don't even be scared to tell me anything. Just be open. As long as you're open and honest with me, I could deal with that.
Just be transparent. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And he has to be working towards he has to either have his career or working towards his career.
Okay. So financially
stable.
Does he have to be like financially stable?
Taking care of another child, put it that way. I'm not about to be taking care of another child.
Okay, I'm just letting Leah in. Okay, so can you date a guy that's broke? Or like maybe he's like is there type of financial stability that you're looking for? So if a guy
financial stability, it's more of like I don't want to have to feel obligated to pay for you. I don't want to have to feel obligated to pay your bills, or like even try to feel guilt trip into paying your bills. You know, you need to have your priorities straight.
Yeah. So any bum. So if he's a bum, there's no chance.
I'm sorry. Like I'm 26. I have 2 kids. I have no time for that. I really don't.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's your preferences. All power to you. So is there like, are you looking for men like either in a similar field or similar income bracket as you, or like could you date a guy that's like say
it doesn't necessarily have to be where I'm at, because different fields have different salaries.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, medical field, as much as people think that we really don't make all that much. We really don't, especially not in San Francisco. Heck no. we don't make crap over here, okay? With the cost of living, we don't make anything. So it's more of like, if I'm able to take care of my kids by myself, because I'm getting not even the bare minimum from their father. So like if I'm taking care of these kids by myself, you should be able to take care of yourself as a grown man. That's my view. And if you want to go ahead and be in a relationship, make sure that your priorities are straight before you get into a relationship, because you're dragging another person into that. That's me.
Okay.
So he doesn't necessarily have to be in the same bracket as me. He just has to have his priorities straight.
And at least he has a plan to improve his life and moving towards something. Okay.
Yes, and I would have to see that he's trying to improve his life.
Yeah, you want
No,
tangible.
I'm not just gonna
results.
take your word for it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I went through that for 6.5 years. I'm not about to just take your word for it. I'm sorry. You have to prove it to me.
That's what.
Like
So
with
was that a major factor of your previous relationships? He wasn't moving towards anything.
So he was in the military.
Okay.
My ex-husband was in the military, and he at first he showed me that he was financially stable, and then he wanted to blame him not having money on me because I decided to stay at home with our child.
Yeah.
So he blamed all of that on me, and even though he was the one that said that he's financially stable, you know, he could take care of me, he could take care of our child, this and that. Okay, that's fine. And then his deployment came, and then after his deployment, it's just like they just went downhill so fast.
Yeah.
Super fast, to the point where like I don't even know where I went wrong in like not seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just focused on the man, and he even proposed to me without a ring. He proposed to me without a ring, and I still said yes because I loved him that much. Yeah. Now I know my worth. Boy, you better be putting a ring on my hand if you're going to propose.
Yeah. Yo.
Like, if I could buy my own rings by myself, like, best believe you better be able to put a ring on my finger.
Yo, so that's an interesting question, ladies. If a man proposes to you guys without a ring, is that a red flag?
Yes.
Now that I was in that position,
it doesn't count.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, I mean, it makes logical sense, right? If the guy is stable, then he would be able to afford at least a ring, and you know, doesn't have to, you know, just something to give you.
And then like the following Christmas, he ended up getting me like $100 ring. Like I didn't mind the fact that it was just $100.
Okay.
It was just more of the fact that like that was like almost a year later.
Mm-hmm.
Almost a year after we got married.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, baby, real quick.
Did he even made it like special or something?
Hey, real quick, before we continue on, I just want to welcome our new guest. Our new guest, he just joined us. Everybody that's watching us live, we have a new guest joining on right now. Real quick. So, Leah, real quick before we continue on, can you introduce yourself real quick to everybody that's watching? Just your name, your age, what do you do, and your relationship status. Since we're talking about relationships, go ahead.
So for being late, first of all, I'm still on my way home. My name's Leah. I'm in the Bay, but I'm not from here. I was born in New Zealand, but raised in Tonga. So I'm totally fresh off the boat. My relationship status, I'm currently going through a divorce.
Party.
I hope you know.
It's no worries. So since we got Leah here, and then I'm gonna come back to you guys, Ashley, Carla. I'm gonna ask Leah the very first question that we start off the show with.
That's fine.
And then Leah, so the question that was asked was, do you believe that modern day men 2021, the men that you see today, modern day dating 2021, do you believe it's worth it? Are they worth it for a long-term relationship? Are they worth it? I guess you better respond to your reaction to your face.
Are you asking? Sorry, I cut you off. Go on.
No, go ahead. Yeah, what is it worth it? Do you think the modern day, the type of men that you see today in modern day dating 2021, are they worth it? Are they worth it for a long-term relationship? Are they worth it for marriage for a woman? And that's my question I'm gonna ask you.
Of course.
Why not? And why not? Right.
Well, just because I've had, a sad experience doesn't mean that everybody is going to be a sad experience. I have
good job.
Hope at all.
Yeah,
we're all working on ourselves.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so and why do you believe they're worth it? Like, what are the qualities that you see in men today, or the behaviors in men today, that still gives you hope and optimism that they're worth it? I think Carla needs to hear this.
I guess in this generation that we're in right now,
mm-hmm.
a lot of things are available to us, so it's just if he's a go-getter,
Mhm.
there is absolutely no excuse to not be able to get what you want or to do what you want to do.
Okay.
So that's why I believe like there are men out there that
Okay. All right. Okay. So you believe there are men out there. Okay, that's good. All right. All right. Cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna come back to you, Leah. I know, Carla. I know that the question that we were talking with Ashley was yeah, we were talking about like, oh yeah, what are you looking for in men? So talk about the physical, the financial for you, because like you said, you're looking for a good man. So what's the type of man that you're looking for specifically, Carla?
Oh, me?
Yeah. So
I
height. So
like
let's start with the physical. What's the physical requirements that you're looking for in a man?
physical. I don't know why, but I think I like European like look. I don't know, like a white man, tall with an accent, or some like super difficult to find over here. That's how I like them, and they need to be clean. That's like my main thing. They need to be clean, and they need to be smart, because I feel like whenever, like, I don't know, it's just I've had situations where like they don't have anything to talk about, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
good for the guys for them to like read, or like do something, so they have like some type of like conversation.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of women. They say like a lot of men have no social skills. They can't hold a conversation.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, honestly, I can't do that. Like, I remember one time I dated this guy and he was super shy.
Mhm.
And I couldn't, like, he was quiet the whole time and he made it super awkward.
Okay.
And I can't.
Okay. And then as far as like financial stability, does he have to be financially stable, or does?
So I mean, it doesn't matter if he has a career or not. Like, as long as he's hardworking, that's all that matters. Because if he's lazy, then he's out.
Okay. Yeah. Lazy.
Because
lazy.
I'm not lazy.
Yeah.
And I work and I do anything I can do so I can make money. So yeah. So if I can, you can do it also. So it's like, I don't know.
All right. Okay. So at least he's has a job. He's working towards something, and he's not lazy. Okay. And tall white man.
Yeah.
European white man.
Like a model. I
Oh.
have dated those guys, and they usually cheat on me. So I don't know. I feel like maybe, I don't know, just I need to just get like a normal guy or something, because I feel like good looking guys always cheat.
Yeah. Could you date an ugly man?
Huh?
Could you date a guy that's ugly?
No.
Okay. Well, no. Oh, that's fine.
And they are like, that's why. And I love the people that I have dated, like they cheat on me. So
All right.
but oh well.
Okay.
It is what it is.
It is. Hey, that's your preference.
And well, I don't know why I always end up with military people and fraternity guys.
Thank
That-
you.
Yeah, there's like a stigma for military men. Sorry, I've seen the TikTok videos. It's not really good. Okay.
That's a
All
red
right.
flag.
All right. Okay. All right. No worries. All right. So Leah, same thing. What are the type of men that you're attracted to? Like, what are the men that you're looking for at this moment in your life?
honestly, I'm into Polynesians.
Oh,
So
he has to be poly, or can it be anything else? He has to be poly.
I cannot be attracted to anything other than Polynesian.
Okay.
Like,
All
I
right.
used to have big crushes on like Korean men, but then I myself feel like a man sometimes. So I kind of just
If you're watching too much K-dramas, that's probably why.
poly men. Definitely has to be hardworking,
Hardworking. Okay.
and I'm very religious, so
Religious. Okay.
to have that in common. And like Carla said, obviously have a lot to talk about because I'm a chatterbox. But all in all, it's just someone very gentle, but not a beta person, you know.
Okay, so he's not beta feminine. He's like very masculine.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, all right, yeah. All my beta and simps out there.
Sorry, bye-bye.
Stop manning up. Man the hell up. Okay. All right. So you like a very strong leader, masculine type of man. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to add to that?
I guess just someone that like how do you say that there's no double standards, you know, pretty understanding and fair, because I've been in like past relationships where it's like I can do this but you can't do that kind of thing.
What give us an example?
Like I can talk to who and who but you can't talk to who and who. I can have this much in my account, you can't have any of this in your account. Like pretty much just like a guy who's comfortable with me being independent. It's not that I'm not trying to be independent because I don't need him. It's just that I want to be able to, like, you know, because I like to work and I like to have something for myself, but it's to build with someone. It's not to separate myself from someone else. And like I've been in past relationships where it was the other person was always uncomfortable with me being on my own feet. So
did you feel like that was like that came from like a lack of distrust, that he wasn't able to trust you? You feel like that's where it came from?
Yeah, but you know, that's what I don't understand, because I was very how do you say submissive in like a non-submissive way? Like I was very open and transparent, you know, like there was no way that he was supposed to not trust me with anything. And but it was, I guess it was just the fact that they never wanted me to go back to my home country kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know, but yeah.
All right, no worries. All right, ladies, thank you guys for sharing, and that was an interesting dialogue, and why modern day men are they still worth it? Drop some comments below if you guys are watching this live right now. We'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. And if you are the type of man they just described, shoot your shot. Anyways, they're all single. All right. So ladies, I'll open up to you guys. Is there your chance to ask your questions and bring up your topics, and don't hold back. Let me. What are your questions? I'll start with Ashley. What's your question that you want to bring up today for tonight's show?
Let's see. How am I gonna say this without?
Just say it. Don't worry about it. Just say it. Keep it real.
I'm just flat out say it. For women. Does size matter?
What'd you say? Say that again.
Does size matter?
Oh, shoot,
like, is that a deal breaker? Is it a deal breaker?
Yes, it matters.
But that's a question for sit this one out. Go ahead, ladies. I'll start with you, Carla. The size matter.
I'm just saying. Yeah, it matters. I mean, how can I explain it?
Okay.
So my question or what? Oh, okay.
Sorry. No. So for you, size doesn't matter.
I mean.
Okay. Is that a complete turn off for you, that if you met a guy and say he had all the qualities that you were looking for, but then the only thing
is because it's like if you're having a little kid.
Okay. Hey, that's hey, that's your preference. Okay. All right. So that's so as soon as you find out,
it's weird.
It's done. Done deal. Okay. All right. No.
So
Go ahead. That's the call's response. Go ahead, Leah.
No, like, that's nice. That's always wonderful to have. But like I would also say, it's you could do without as well. It's because like, I'm such like an emotional person. Like if the person like takes care of like my heart and my mind, and I have like peace and just peace and love at home, like that's cool. We can do without it, but it'll be like a bonus. Like anyways,
Okay,
that was
yeah.
just my 2 cents.
I do want to ask the lady, is there I don't call it, I want to ask you, is there a thing that a man could do, say if he lacked in size, is there things he can make up for to compensate for that for you, or it's just a no?
But I'm also like very like like emotional and stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just depends on like how big. I don't know. Like, I mean, if it's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it has to matter in some point. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. For me, like, I guess it does matter.
Okay, that's for you. All right, no worries. Ladies, anything you want to add to that?
I have a question.
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead.
So, like, for like, how do you know? Like, how can you not be straight, so, like, super straightforward whenever you're like asking a guy if they want something serious? Like,
Yeah.
like how can like I've done that before, and like I don't know, like I guess like I've tried to figure it out how to do it, because I've seen that guys like get scared whenever like if you're like straightforward and tell them like, hey, like are you looking for something? But then like it's also good for you to not waste your time. But then I don't know, like it's weird, like for me, like I don't know, I just don't really know what to do.
Okay, so the way I would respond to that question, it depends on men, right? So I always talk about this on my podcast where I think Leah brought it up. She doesn't like beta men, right? So men who are very beta, they're very submissive, they're not confident, they're not assertive. If you're very direct and very confident as a woman, they may not be secure enough in their masculinity to handle that. So the men who are very masculine, very confident themselves, who are a leader, they do like a very direct woman. Especially if a man is looking for a relationship, if a man is looking for long term, they do want that transparency. They don't want to waste time, right? Because you guys all mentioned you guys all want a guy that's very ambitious and working towards something, right? Right. So those types of men that are working towards their goals and dreams, they're fully invested, and they're spending the majority of the day working. So they don't have time to play games. So when they do meet these women that they are attracted to, and then the best way to answer your question, you have to be very direct. I think that's a good thing, right? I guess we all agree. It's good to communicate, let them know, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, it's kind of aggressive if you do that.
Well, it's the way do you like when you bring it up? You can't just meet a guy for the first day and then, hey,
I would give it like a good 2 weeks to a month to ask him that.
Yeah. Well, 2 weeks in a month.
2 weeks to a month. The reason why I say 2 weeks to a month is because that's when you start to kind of really talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you guys talk on an everyday basis. And yeah, you guys may talk every day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys may have these deep conversations, but giving it time, a bit of time to go ahead and be like, hey, so, we've been talking for this long. What are your future plans with me? Mm-hmm. Do you have any plans for the future? Do you see me in your future? Yeah. Yes, it may be a little early, but at that time, it's you're not going to waste your time.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to waste your time. And it lets him know, hey, I'm giving you a bit of my time. Now I want to see where this is going to go before I waste any more.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's how I would think of it. That's how much time I would give it.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I would.
Indirect.
Yeah. I would for I would I think actually I think for me is like I think whenever I think it's the way you bring it up. I think you should bring it up as early as possible, right? And but just the way you do it, I
I'm
think.
just not trying to scare this guy away, man.
But
Well, the
it's
thing,
just,
what the thing is, you have to understand if that person is looking for commitment as well, right? You won't scare him. He's gonna bring him closer, right?
True.
So if he's scared, if you bring it up and he's scared of it, then that means that he wasn't looking for that anyway, right? But of course, it's not. It depends on how you say it. For me, I would bring it up on the first date. If we're talking and vibing with the woman and we're feeling each other, we're having great combos. I'll let her know, hey, I enjoyed this night. I think I think you're a great person. Just I'll let you know I'm looking for something for long term. I don't know where this is going to turn out, but I wouldn't want to spend more time with you. But I want to let you know upfront that I'm looking for something long term. I'm not here to waste time, right? So I'm not making a commitment. I'm not saying it's official.
that's kind of like you're gonna
way.
make them feel pressured a little bit. No.
But like I said, it's just the way you say it, right? If you,
yeah.
but you also have to read the energy of the other individual. If you with the date and you just know they're like you're not in tune, you guys are not vibing, you're not compatible, it's off, then yeah. But but like I said, it's all about mutual interest. If they're into you and you're into them, because we all know. But when we meet somebody for the first time, we already immediately we know like if you like this person or not, and you want to see this person a little bit longer. So I think it's good to let them know that you are what your intentions are in the beginning. You don't have to make a commitment, but just let them know your intentions. And if they are looking for the same thing, and if they are really into you, they will reciprocate that. But the problem for a lot of people today, especially in modern day dating, a lot of people can't handle rejection, right? So if they don't want you, it's okay.
Oh my gosh.
Right? If they say no, it's okay, and move on to the next person, because the person that's meant for you will stay. And that's why a lot of people is like, you like somebody so much, you finally met the guy like you call, like you finally met the model that's 6 feet blonde, has a big dangling.
I need to lower.
you finally met him, right? You finally met him, and then you're so afraid to miss out on him. But it's okay if he leaves, and because you can always find somebody else. And for a lot of people, there's a lot of people out there that are broken and they're insecure with themselves, and know, hey, if it doesn't work out, there's somebody out there, and they have a very scarcity. They have that scarcity mindset. So I think it's important. I say to people, bring it up as soon as possible, so that way they know it's not wasting time. Because like this, if you're not clear with your intentions, and there's a lack of transparency, then like this, you're more susceptible to get played by that person. Ashley, you have something to say?
Yeah, I have a question. So if that happens and it does scare him off, and then like a couple like weeks, or not a couple weeks, but like a week or two later, he comes back and you're like, hey, like, you know what? I thought about what you said and I'm ready. Like, I really want, I want to get to know you more. I want to talk to you more. I want to give you my time, this and that. Would you guys be willing to give him that chance?
Ladies? Leah, respond. Yeah, go ahead. Respond it.
I'm sorry. With like everything I'm going through, I have to like rethink my answer. Because I don't really know.
I know.
Like my first answer was like, yeah, of course, definitely. Because it wouldn't hurt to try. But then again, not limiting yourself, like keeping an open mind and like not being afraid of rejection. Like sometimes rejection is such a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask the ladies: would you guys, if you guys met a guy on the first date and he told you up front, but he wasn't aggressive, he was very very open, you guys had a good time, you guys both vibe, you like him, you can tell he likes you, and he brought it up on the first date. He was like, you know what, I really like you. I think we have some great qualities together. I would want to spend more time with you, but I'm letting you know. But he tells you up front that he's looking for long term. He's not willing to waste time. Is that gonna repel you away from him, or is that gonna bring you closer? If he's upfront and open about it on the first date.
Me?
I mean, he's being open about it.
Would that scare you off?
It wouldn't scare me off. It would actually make me think that, he actually has his priorities straight. He knows what he wants, and he's not gonna play around.
Yeah. Okay. Leah?
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm a very direct person too when it comes to and obviously with like everything that's happened, like I'm not down to waste time anymore. I'm only here to like make money, feed my babies. 'Cause I got 2 babies, and
Yeah.
just keep moving forward. Like if there is if I find
Mhm.
someone who's got the same goal as I do, like great. And if not, then that's fine. Like I do have one friend who had said like a couple years ago
Mhm.
that like sometimes like you should just like head towards your goals, like make your own goals, walk towards that, and like if you find someone along the way walking towards that same goal, like hold his hand and walk towards that. Like you can't be
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
setting goals and then looking for someone somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you work, you be like the law of attraction, you attract who you are, right?
Right.
Yeah. And Carla, same thing with you. If you met the guy and he told you in the first date that he's looking for long term, is that gonna distract? Is that gonna repel you, or is it gonna bring you closer?
No, I guess bring me closer, because I mean, well, it just depends on like if I liked him or not on the date. That's how I am, because you know how like I try to like, if I don't like them, I'm gonna be like honest. But if I do like them, then I'm gonna say yes. Because I mean, how am I gonna say like yes to the long relationship if I don't like the person? So, I guess I would say like we can go on more dates and stuff, and like I mean, and then that I like him as well, But I mean, yeah, I don't know.
No, no. Let me. I would ask you, ladies, because like I believe that showing intentions, that showing intentions in the beginning of a date, that shows a lot about that person as far as where they are in life, their maturity level. If I tell a woman, hey, I'm not, like I said, there's no commitment. I'm not saying we're girlfriend and boyfriend. We're not saying that we're like, I'm not proposing. I'm just saying, hey, I'm looking for long-term commitment. It just shows you the type of mindset, emotional level where they at. If a woman's very just came out, if they're still healing from a past trauma, past issue, something in the past, a lot of women would shy away from that. But for women who are looking for relationships, who are ready for a good man, and they see that you are, I think, and they're really attracted to you, I think that when you reveal your intentions, they will happily say yes, and because that's what you're looking for. But I feel like if you don't bring up your intentions and you do bring it up and they repel away from it, it just shows you that there's something going on in their life. Maybe they're not ready yet. Because people who are ready for a relationship, they're not trying to waste time. I think it's good to bring up in the first relationship just to kind of see their body language, because you can tell a lot from somebody if you bring up your intentions in the beginning to see how they react to it, and kind of give you kind of like a good read of, okay, if this is the type of woman or type of man, what type of man or that woman is. What are your thoughts about that? You feel like you get a lot of read from somebody if you bring up your intentions or how they react to it? Go ahead, Ashley. Yeah.
Yeah. There are certain things that I do bring up that I would want to see their reaction to.
Yeah.
Especially, with me having my kids.
Yeah.
And just like me being open and honest about like how I was in my previous marriage, and
yeah.
Saying that, I was this way because of X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
And saying that, I have 2 kids, and like I already told myself that, whoever I'm with, it would take a while for them to meet my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like a long while. And I would want to see their reaction to that. If they're going to go ahead and respect it or be offended by it. Because if they're offended by it, then it's like, with my ex, I married him within 6 months. I married him within 6 months, and time just flew. It flew. And then we ended up having kids, and then now with this divorce, and then now it's like I have to start all over. So I'm trying to protect my kids in a sense of, I don't want to bring so many men around them and introducing them to a different guy at each and every time. So it's like I want to let them know ahead of time, like, hey, I don't want to introduce you to my family or my kids for a while, and this is why. Now, if
Yeah.
they're offended by it, then they're not.
Yeah.
Then they don't respect it. They don't respect it.
Yeah.
Now, if they do respect it, they're like, you know what? Like, I get it. I understand. It's whenever you want.
Yeah.
It's all in your time. That's what I'm looking for. So if that scares him off, he's not the one. I'm sorry, he's not the one.
Yeah, and let's be honest. Like, if you really like someone, like you make it work, right? If you're really into someone, right?
Yeah.
Like you really just nothing's gonna stop you from they're not gonna be scared, or anything you say is it's not gonna stop you from trying to get to know that person if you're really into them. And if they're not really into you, then if anything you say or do, and especially if you're being honest of yourself, of who you are and what you do about your life, that clearly just shows your intent. I think it's really important to find out their intentions in the beginning, especially while they're dating. We all know everybody's talking to like 5-10 people. That's why I'm not trying to waste time, because I know like if either they have a date today, they probably have another date planned tomorrow.
Yeah.
So like for me, I'm not trying to waste time. I'm telling you, hey, this is what it is. This is who I am. This is what I'm gonna do. About it, nope, cool. I'm on to the next. I think a lot of people are just afraid of rejection. Anybody else want to respond to that before we move on to the next question? All right, it's all good. All right, so Carla, we're gonna move on to you, Carla. So what's your question?
My question. So I don't know. Let's see. Like what type of question?
Anything.
Anything
Okay.
anything you want to ask or topic? You need some time to think about it. I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Leah, what's your question?
I'm actually thinking about one right now.
All right. Go ahead, Leah. Yeah, do you have a question?
I have a question.
All right. Go ahead, Carla. Go ahead.
No, yeah. So I don't know. Like I've had like trouble with people, like because I mean I don't know why, but like I've done like the dating things and stuff, and like it's just that I've been through like so many situations where like I mean, let's say like I had a date and he came to pick me up. We were gonna go to a restaurant, and he bring a gun, and it was crazy and it was sketchy, and like I mean, and then other situations I've found, like I don't know why, but like I always do my research before I hang out with the people, and they have like criminal history, and it's crazy, and I already know those things, like. And so like now what I do is that like instead of like I just ask them, like I ask them like a bunch of questions, and that kind of makes it awkward whenever like I just ask them, like even though if they're like good people, like I ask them, so like do you have it, like I ask them all these questions, like do you have a criminal history, do you bring guns with you, like I mean it's just crazy that like I don't know, like I feel like I have to like ask them that, and that makes it awkward because they're good people, right? And they're just like why would I be doing that? And like I know it's not the same for everyone, but then I don't know why, like like do you know what I mean? Or
I mean
like is it not appropriate to ask that, or is like should I just avoid it? And I don't know. I don't know why I have to like disclosure that.
No, are you saying that should you be able, if somebody makes you uncomfortable, then should you be open about it and tell them directly if somebody makes you uncomfortable? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. Like if you don't feel right, if you don't feel comfortable, you have every right.
No, but like that's the thing, is like you don't know them. Like it's like you're gonna go on a date, and like you don't. I guess I would just get to know them right before.
Well, I mean, you don't have to. If you don't feel right, you have every right to leave. You don't have to explain to them why.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like if you don't feel right, if you're just not feeling it, something's wrong. You just intuition kicks in.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Just leave. Right? You don't.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I hope that answers. But ladies, anything you want to add to that? That's just my thoughts on it.
I mean, if a person is making you uncomfortable, just say it. You're like, hey, I really feel uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't, like, if you don't want to bring it up at that moment, this is me, I would wait until afterwards, and then like when when, you know, it's either before you guys leave or like when you get home, telling me like, hey, I was just a little bit uncomfortable when you did X, Y, and Z. I'm just letting you know that now, so that, you know, next time it doesn't happen. Now, if they have a problem with that, then there's your answer.
Yeah. I guess I feel like it's just my fault that I've dated like people and stuff, and like, you know, I guess the bad experiences now like trick me whenever I want to like date someone. So it's just, I don't know.
Carla, let me ask you a question. Are you thirsty for a relationship right now? That's the best way I can say it.
Thirsty? No, like
sometimes I feel like when because I know you had some bad experiences, and I know like right now it just sounds like you're really craving a relationship, and I know sometimes when we're desperate.
Someone normal, because it seems like I just can't really find like not even like a friend. So it's like it kind of sucks because I used to have like a relationship where like everything was happy, like and I haven't found that with other people. So
yeah, I mean, like do you feel desperate for one, like a relationship, or are you comfortable in being peace at being single?
I don't mind if I have a boyfriend or not. I think, I mean, but I just haven't found not even a friend. So
okay, all right, yeah. I know. The reason I brought out, I know sometimes when people are desperate for a relationship, they'll allow things that typically they would
so
leave.
I'm the type of person that cannot be alone. That's my thing.
Oh, okay. So that's why I brought it up, because like if you're not comfortable being alone, then whenever you see bad behavior or toxic behavior of somebody, you allow it, because instead of just walking away from that situation, because you need that attention or that relationship. If you're at your peace with yourself, as soon as you see somebody's making you uncomfortable or any toxic trait, you just walk away because you're at peace, being okay, being single. That's my assessment of that.
Yeah, no, I never allow like nothing to like hurt me or whatever, or maybe make me feel uncomfortable. The thing was it was just that like me asking them questions, you know, like just because I want to be careful, and then they take it like as in that I'm like being aggressive or something for me asking those questions, which I think they're just normal questions, right?
Yeah, it is normal.
That's why like I don't know why I've had trouble like me asking questions, and I feel like, I mean, I'm just being normal, like I'm just asking something, so you know. But I guess it just depends on the guy that I'm like. Every guy is different, so I have had bad luck.
Do you have a problem with rejection? Like, it's like if you go on a date and a guy rejects you, like you feel like, oh, he's like, that hurts. Do you have a problem with that?
Well, it just depends, because I mean, I know that I can just date another guy and just get over it.
But no, I'm just talking like for you personally, like when you go on a date, the guy doesn't return your call, he just ghosts you. Does it?
No, I'm already used to people ghosting me, so I feel like it just doesn't affect me anymore.
Well, I'm not saying like I know you're used to it, but how does it feel? Like, does it still hurt?
Oh no, I'm just like, oh, I thought he liked me or something, like me, my mind, you know, like, oh, this is weird. Like, I don't know what I did wrong. I don't think I did anything bad. So it was just him. Like, I mean, as long as I didn't do anything bad. And I don't know why I've had this feeling that maybe men, like, I don't know, like in your opinion, since you're a man, men don't like independent women or something, because I'm like super independent, and like I feel like I scare them away or something, because they're like, oh no, like she has like everything together or something, you know.
Yeah, well, to respond to your question about the independent women, and I talk about this on my podcast, and all the independent women watching this right now, don't get mad. No, I always bring it up is like, you know, a man is very masculine and ambitious, like the type of men that you're looking for. Men who are very masculine, they're always looking for feminine women who are very feminine, who are submissive. So there's nothing wrong with being independent, right? There's nothing wrong with being independent, but there's a lot of independent women out there that act masculine, right? Because sometimes for a woman to be very successful, to be very dominant in her career, in her life, a lot of times she has to take in masculine traits and to be that way. So sometimes a lot of women, they act very independent, like I don't need a man. They try to act like a man in a relationship. But I always tell women, a very masculine man is always looking for a woman's femininity. They're looking for the woman's nurturing, their care, their friendliness, their love, their nurturing nature as a mother. That's why, because we're already strong ourselves, so we're always looking for your vulnerability, because that's what we crave as very strong masculine men. I'm not trying to date myself. All right. And any woman that exerts attitude or traits that like myself, it's gonna repel me as a man. But women that who are very feminine, they're very in tune with their femininity, very caring, very loving, very open. No, they're not trying to put up this front. When I meet it, they're just very open with their love, with their kindness. That's very attractive for masculine men. Now, men who are very beta, very feminine, they may be insecure. They may be not be able to handle a very independent woman. So it's not the men they're not scared of a woman's confidence. They just don't want women who act like men. A lot of women who are independent, sometimes they act like men. And men, we want a woman. We don't want a man.
Yeah.
All right. So if you are acting in a way that very masculine, you're acting like a man, and you're not open. And like I said, I think you say, like, if you're not open with your kindness, with love, I love it when a woman is just a woman. I could just feel her love, her nurturing, her caring, and I just feel that, damn, that's a woman right there. And I'm attracted to that. If you're exerting very man or masculine energy, it's not attractive. For men are very masculine. So it's not that it's not the independent part, because I have nothing wrong with independent women. I'll get your bag, ladies. Get your bag. But just understand that when you meet a man, that's when you have to be a woman. You need to be a woman and not try to be like a
yeah, I guess that's my problem, because I always like hang out with I hang out with guys, and like I'm always like around guys and stuff, and maybe I just act like maybe like a friend dude, like instead of me just being like super, I'm just real, and like I don't know why. I'm just
the one thing I would say, Carla, because I know you brought it up that you've had some past relationships. A lot of times I've noticed for women who are very the women who have had some bad experiences, you put your guard up. And you're not willing, and it's hard for you to be very emotional and vulnerable to a man, because you've been hurt in the past, and that can be a barrier for a lot of men, because they can't feel your emotions, they can't feel that love from you, because they're holding it back because what happened in the past. But that your femininity, your love, your nurturing, your kindness, that's exactly what they're looking for. And if you're still thinking about the past, that can be a barrier that why the guys like dating with you is like, man, I'm like, I don't feel no love. I don't feel no feminine energy from this girl. Like,
that's true.
So they're like, oh, all right, they're just moving on to the next person. So that's what I will say based on what you shared with me. Ladies, you want to add to Leah? Ashley, anything you want to add to that convo?
No, I agree with the part where you do have to have your feminist side, where like you gotta do your duties like a mother and as a wife.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like I stand by my words, like women need to have some sort of independence too, like some sort of ground.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, just like I said, like I tell women, like, just go get your bag and be dominant, be and take care of yourself first. Your priority in yourself is the most important thing. But if you want to be with a masculine man, the type of man that you guys all mentioned, ambitious, confident, strong, has his life together, he's focused on planning a future, those types of men are always looking for your femininity. So be dominant at work, but when you come home, just put that femininity hat on and say, hey, honey, bring that femininity out. And then all right. So, and then that's what's going to keep him around. He's just like, men who are very masculine, they just don't want to date a guy that he feels like is another man. All right. But yeah. So so that was Carl's question. Thank you for the good question, Carl. All right, Leah, you thought of your question?
Of a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my mind ducks like everything that is my life right now. So current,
right.
Big changes. But I guess my question for men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My question for men is how. So like, how do you? I guess like what like how do you introduce like expectations in like a relationship? Like, okay, men and women. Like
how do you
if that makes
introduce expectations? Like what do you mean? Like what you're looking for to a man? Like I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to say.
yeah, like what your goals are and all of that. Like I don't even know I'm asking that, like, because for me I just like directly like say what I want. But like I know we've talked about this all night and how you've said you've just got to be like direct with like what you want.
Oh,
but,
gotcha.
You know, that scares off a lot of men, but like for
okay, gotcha. So how do you bring up your expectations of what you want out of him without scaring him, and maybe not being too direct? Is that what you're trying to say?
yeah, like I guess for men, like how do you expect us women to like bring up what we expect out of a relationship? Like because
Okay,
I know
gotcha.
how I want to bring up expectation, but for like men in general, like how do you want a woman to like tell you what their expectations are?
I think communication is one piece, being open and direct is one piece. But I think to answer your question, I think the best way to bring up your expectations to the type of man that you want is finding out what that type of man, what he's looking for. Now, I think something I bring up to a lot of people is like, it's very easy. If you want a specific type of man that you want, all you have to do, or that person that you guys want, is find out what that specific type of person is looking for. And if you work on yourself to put in the work to become that type of person, then you will naturally attract him. So when I talk to women, one of the things they always say, they want a very masculine man. They want a guy that's ambitious. He's working towards his life. He has goals. He has a plan for his life. He's not, I think Ashley said that he wants a very traditional man, God fearing. So all you have to do is like, okay, if those are the type of men that you guys are looking for, is just figure out what do they want, and then based what I always tell women is those guys that are very masculine, confident, and ambitious, all they want is a woman that's very feminine, that's loving, loyal, caring, take care of yourself, take care of your body, do all the things that will attract him, and of course, and then put yourself in a position to attract that type of person. But I think a lot of times is the what we want and who you can attract is totally, just because you want a certain type of man doesn't mean you're going to get that type of man. If you want certain body, then you have to become that person that you're going to attract them. So all you have to do is like, if you're very independent, and I think you mentioned, Leah, you're very independent. So that's the thing. Like I know for a lot of women who are very independent, you have to like be more in tune with your femininity so they can see that. A lot of times, if you're just very independent, very moving, and for a lot of guys, if they saw you in public, and if they saw you in public, and all they see is your independency as a woman, and they don't see nothing, your femininity, your loving, your caring, your beauty, then those guys won't approach you, if that makes sense. So I think that's how I would answer that question. It's just be the type of woman that those types of men that you're looking for, and if you work on that, then you will attract those type of men. But like I said, if those men that you guys want, like they'll find you. I always tell women all the time, if you're a good woman and you're everything that these type of men are looking for as far as commitment, they're gonna find you. But if they don't find you, and you're not attracting those type of people, you're attracting the wrong type of men, then clearly everything starts with you. But that's my take on that. What do you guys think? Leah?
I have, while you were talking, like another question just popped into my head. If I could ask that as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
So like, given that like in the beginning of a relationship, you like share what your expectations are with each other, right? And then you go into like this committed relationship, so you get married, whatever. And then like a couple months later, like they change, like they're not who they said they were, or their expectations, like, okay, let me just say, like hygiene, all right, How do you, so like say you started dating someone and they present themselves to be like absolutely like such a hygienic person, super clean, and that's like super attractive, and then you get into like a really committed relationship, and then like, you know, you guys have a family, blah blah blah, like you just say you like super committed, and then you like the hygiene is just like a whole 180, totally different. Like how do you I can't say like fix that, but like will men change their hygiene habits for someone else? Or like how do you politely with love tell someone to like improve?
Yo,
Like, you know, after like multiple just like nicely saying like, hey, can you like do this? Or like if I do it for them, I feel like I've learned that like I enable them to continue on with the habit of like not being clean. But like how do you
let me
like
ask you this.
how do you
So how long did you date this person? You just get and you said marriage, right? You married this person. Like how long did you date him before you got married?
I'm not going to say if I married this person or not. You know, I don't want to call anybody.
Okay.
Let's just say, let's just use like another
Okay. Yeah.
example. Like okay, I did date this person for like 6 months.
Okay.
Right. And then we got into like a committed relationship or whatever.
Yeah.
And then 3 months later, it was just like a totally different person. But like, let's just like use hygiene as like one of it. Like, how do you, like after months of like showing them that you're willing to help them like be clean again and all of that, but they're not, like, how do you address that? And like, if a person's not willing to change that, does that mean anything?
Yeah. I mean, if it's,
Like,
I mean,
does that
hygiene,
mean they
hygiene,
love you? Like,
hygiene is basic. I mean, hygiene is basic. You know, basic. It's a basic necessity in life, right? Be clean. I mean, I don't think. I
Take
mean,
care
I
of
don't.
you.
I
If you
don't
can't
think
take care
that.
of yourself, how do you
Yeah.
expect me
I don't
to
think.
take care of me?
I don't think there's like a magic formula. I think it's just be open to be direct. Be open and be direct with them, and then
I feel like whenever they don't take care of themselves, it's just because they don't love themselves.
yeah. I mean, it's hygiene, right? And then if they're not willing to change, then just leave.
Just leave.
Right? Just leave. There's a lot of men out there that have good hygiene. Right? I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I mean, it's common sense, right? Like, if they're not taking their hygiene, and you brought it up, maybe just having a bad day, they forgot to shower. That's one thing, but if they're constantly not, that's a constant behavior, repetitive behavior, and it's causing you issues. You know, it's getting to the point where it's causing issues in the relationship. It's common sense. Like, yo, take a shower, my man.
My man. I mean, you need to have like confident, like trust on the relationship. So to say that, I guess
I mean, for me,
that's why it wouldn't matter.
I mean, so with my experience on that, my ex-husband and I would be in the barracks with him. Okay, like they snuck me into the barracks and everything, and like I lived there for like a month. Okay, and that whole entire month, so every single week they would have inspections, and I would, I'd clean for them. Every single day I'd clean for him and his roommate. His roommate was also my friend. He's actually the one that got he and I together. And every single day I'd clean up after him. And just when he would come back to the room after work, like it would just look like a complete thing again. So like I stopped cleaning, and he would ask me, am I okay? I'm okay, but it's like all of my work to keep your room clean. It's like you don't care. It's like you really don't care about the work that I put in to help you clean and to keep it clean. And at first he acknowledged it, and he said that he would do better, which he did, until we got our own home. once we got our own home and I was a stay-at-home mom, like this was after our first son was born, I went into this really deep postpartum depression to where like I didn't want to do anything. Okay. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to touch anything. I didn't want to cook. I didn't want to do anything. And so he went ahead and complained, saying, well, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're a stay-at-home mom and you're not doing X, Y, and Z. I said, okay, so since you want to go ahead and complain, let me go ahead and get a job. I went ahead and got a job and it still didn't do anything. To the point where 6.5 years later, I found out that it wasn't me. It wasn't me that was just dirty. Because all this time I thought it was me. I thought it was me not cleaning. I thought it was me just not giving a crap anymore. But that's not what it was. It was him. And I only found that out when he went and got deployed. And like, I just noticed how clean my house was. I noticed how clean it was. I noticed that there wasn't so much trash going in and out of the freaking house. Like, I didn't have to take out the garbage every so often because I wasn't using that much garbage. And then right when he came, it's like 2 days after he came, like the house was just filthy again. I'm like, so it wasn't me. It wasn't me. So like bringing it up, I would always tell him, like, anytime like he stunk or anything like that, I'm like, hey, go ahead, go shower. He'd be like, why? I'm like, I could smell you from where I'm at. Like, I got to that point where I just didn't care to go ahead and tell him, go shower. Or like, if I wanted to be nice that day, I'd be like, hey, can you go ahead? You want to go shower? I'm like, you want to go and shower?
No,
it's simple. It's simple. Like, you shouldn't have to ask a grown man to go ahead and shower.
Yeah, exactly.
You shouldn't have to tell a grown man to go ahead and pick up after himself.
That's not a man. That's a little.
That's why when I said I don't want to go ahead and take care of another child, he would be the other child. I already have 2 of my own. I don't need another one.
Yeah. So, Carla, anybody want to add to that?
For the hygiene?
Yeah, for the hygiene, anything you want to add to Leah?
Well, like my ex-boyfriend, he was very straightforward. I mean, he was very clean and I was clean, so we wouldn't really have any problem with doing that. So I don't know. He was just kind of like, he would scream at me sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
gotcha.
Like, why didn't I clean or something like that? He would be kind of like aggressive a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know. He was very like, how do you say it? Like, let me look for the word. I don't know how to say this. Look, let me show you.
Machista?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, that type of man, and like everything was like had to be clean and stuff. So
okay. Now, to respond to Leah, this is one thing, Leah, I would say, and I say this to all women that are watching this right now, you know, because sometimes I do hear a lot of women say that they find it hard to change their man, right? And I would tell women, you can't change a man, right? You know, and I always tell women is a man will always change for the woman he really, really wants. And if he's not doing for you, best believe he will do it for another woman. Best believe he would do it. If he met the woman of his dreams, he would best believe do everything that he's not doing with you with that woman, right? So if he's doing it, if you can't change him, then I just want to give the hard truth and reality to all the related life. You're not the one for him, because best believe if he was the one, if you were the woman he really, really wanted, he would change. Every man would change for the woman he really, really wants. If he's not doing it with you, he's gonna do it for another girl, right? So if he's not showing that to you, you gotta leave. You gotta leave, move on. And also, I would say to Leah, also, It goes to both men and women. If he can't do the small things right, do you think he's gonna do how can he do the big things right? Right? If he can't even take a shower, right? How are you gonna expect him to rely on him to handle his responsibility as a father, handle his responsibility to take care of the family? He can't even take a shower. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I always tell people, like, look at the small things of both ways. If you are dating somebody, look at the very small things. If they can do the small things, then that gives you confidence that they'll be able to do the big things. But they can't even handle the small responsibilities as wiping your ass. Right? Then how do you expect him to fulfill all the big responsibilities that comes from being a dad, it comes from being a relationship, it comes from being a man, right? To be a great example for your kids. So if you can't even do the small things, that just shows you where he's at in his life, his type of mentality, what type of man he is. And you should always look at the small things. Don't focus on like the big things. The small things will lead up to the big things. But that's my take on that. Yeah, if he's not doing for you, best believe he's gonna do it for somebody else. And if he's not moving for you, you gotta keep it moving. You gotta keep it moving. So for all them, whoever that guy is, all right, he need to get shot. He need to get shot. All right, real quick, I do want to give a shout out to Nia. Thank you, Nia. She just gave me a donation to my. She gave me a super chat for $10. Thank you so much, Nia. If you're watching this live, thank you so much. And I see all the comments that you have. I'll definitely respond to all of it. But yeah, shout out to Nia. Let me give her. Thank you, Nia, for the super chat. Thank you so much for donating to my channel. And like I always mention, everybody that's watching, every donation go towards my podcast and getting my studio one day, and hopefully I can have this conversation with these ladies on the studio. I know both of you. I know Leah and Ashley is in the Bay, so you guys are local. So Carla, if you ever get my studio and you're down here in Cali, slide through. But yeah, thank you so much, Nia. Really appreciate all the love and support. Thank you so much. Nia, next time you do a super chat, if you happen to do it next time, don't be afraid to write a comment or write a question. I'll definitely read your comment and read your question because you can write a comment and super chat at the same time, just in case. Just shout out to Nia. But yeah, ladies, let's go back to it. I know Leo asked a question to go back to the rotation. Ashley, you have another question for us. I feel like you guys you're still pulling, ladies, you're still holding back. You guys need to like ask the real questions. Hold back,
What's like the biggest turnoff for both men and women? Like the biggest turnoff, like right when you say it, you're like, oh no, I'm out. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm out.
Oh, okay. All right.
Both men and women.
Okay. So, ladies, let's start with you guys. What's your biggest turnoffs? Carla, what's your biggest turnoffs when it comes to men?
If they're talking to other people.
Infidelity. All right.
Yeah, because I usually find out that like whenever we start talking, and that's like my biggest, like I just don't take them seriously.
Okay, so infidelity. Anything else? I think you mentioned being ugly earlier in the podcast.
And if they're shy, that's a big.
Like, what if they're shy to like actually like meet you? Like, what if they're shy because they actually like they find you attractive, like both inside and out, and like they really like you? Like sometimes that actually makes a person really, really shy. Like that makes me shy. Like it gives them that little butterfly feeling.
Is there a difference? Because sometimes women don't know the difference between like shy and submissive. So they could be guys that can be really shy, but I do know the ladies, if they meet a guy that's very submissive, like not really confident, then that can be a turn off. So is it submissive or shy? Carla.
I mean, he has to still have like some confidence. If he doesn't have confidence,
so he's not shy. You're talking about lack of confidence.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, I mean, if he likes me and he's nervous, that's fine. But if he keeps being nervous and like being, it's like
Yeah, well, ladies, can we all agree, ladies, you guys love a confident man?
Yeah. definitely.
Yeah, that's why I always tell men to work on yourself, on your confidence, because like women are attracted to that. They don't want a guy
Now,
that's very,
not overly confident now,
yeah,
okay?
Well, I'm not talking
Yeah.
about being, I'm not talking about ego. I'm not talking about like cocky or be overly. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about when he speaks, he's stern, assertive. You know,
Yeah.
he know what he wants, and yeah, he's not indecisive. Like he just, you know, just really confident to speak to you. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
attractive, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. He's not like, hello, like,
Yeah.
you know, they're just stuttering, and like you can just see like he's very timid. It's very unattractive because, you know, women that they like to see a man confident.
Yeah. Well, I had a relationship where like he would call me like in the morning, he will come in the afternoon and check out on me, you know? And that's why I don't see in other guys that I'm like that I've been dating and everything. So like it's just like you're kind of like expecting for them to maybe like call you or something, you know? And I mean, if they don't do those things for me, like I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, ladies, let me ask you: do you guys like a guy that's that's confident? Like he initiates it, the conversation. He comes to you first, asks you out first, plans out a date for. He's not asking you guys like, you know, or you want the guy to like, hey, you know, do you prefer him not to ask you out first, not to make the first move, and not to plan out things? He'll ask you like, you know, where should we go eat, or instead of planning to eat. He just tell you, hey, I'll pick you up at 7. This is where we're going. See you there. Be ready.
I mean, I'm very old fashioned, so
Do you like a guy that's take the lead?
yeah.
He's not waiting for you to make the decision. You'd rather him just like make the
Well,
decision.
with me, I've always been taught to have the man chase me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so if he's not
Chasing you.
showing me that interest, if
Yeah.
he's not chasing, then in my eyes he doesn't want it.
Yeah. Yeah. Got you. All right. Leah, you're the same way?
Yes, I love to be chased, but then also I'm an athlete, so I like to chase too. But like, I'm not
Okay.
really an athlete. I'm just like, if I see something I like, I'm really not shy. But
Yeah.
but
Okay. Okay. So Carla likes you. So Carla, I think you mean like you don't like guys that are not confident, right? You know, we can be shy, you know, maybe at first when we first meet and, you know, have the little butterflies, but over time when
Yeah.
we start knowing each
Yeah,
other,
I
then
mean,
yeah.
it's nice having like, you know, the first time, like, you know, break the ice or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine, but if they're not,
Yeah. You're not engaging with you, you know.
yeah, they need to call me or yeah, I mean, sometimes I have done that, like where I call them and stuff, and like they maybe find it like kind of weird because people don't do that anymore. Calling,
No.
and I do. So it's like I don't know. I mean, I just like to
Carla,
have like communication, you know.
Carla, I'm telling you right now, Carla, if they have an issue with you calling, you're not the one for him. If the guy really hits you, you accept your call.
No, yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna
I'm
be
just
like I'm
expecting
saying.
for them too.
I'm telling you,
Because
if he really likes you, if they really like you, they don't care if you call, they don't care if you text. Like that's not gonna a phone call is not gonna be the reason why a guy's like, no, that's not. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like I don't have any problem like if they don't call me or not. It's just that like I mean I don't know. I like that that they call me. You know that just they're kind of like more confident to just talk on the phone.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to ask your turnoffs? That's it.
That's all for me.
All right. So you don't like unconfident men, and men who are ugly. Okay. All right. Leah, what's your turnoffs?
are you asking me?
Yeah. What's your turnoffs to men to respond to Ashley's question?
I guess what I brought up just a couple minutes ago is hygiene.
Mhm.
It's hygiene. Also like the way they treat other people. Like,
Yeah.
you know, especially like their own family. Like the way they speak to their own family.
Okay.
I guess like manners. Hygiene, manners, and like if they're proactive. Like I don't like procrastination.
Yeah,
Like
lazy men.
if they're proactive, if they're active. I don't know. I don't want to like list a whole long list of things because I'm super imperfect too. But yeah.
No, it's
So
just you're just stating what you want. That's nothing wrong with that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. All right. Okay. So you said hygiene. I don't even know why we're talking about hygiene. that's terrible.
Yeah, I know.
We have to bring that up. That's yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes
That's
it has to
horrible.
be brought up sometimes, you know.
Yeah, it is. No, that's but yeah. Okay, so and then of course manners, like how you treat people, and how you treat your family. I think that's important, right? Yeah. Especially how they treat strangers. That's something that I look for also. The way they treat the waiter, when you go on the date, the way they treat the waiter. If they're giving the waiter a hard time, or like yelling at the waiter, or like having being like a diva over like something with the food, I'm like, oh, she's being a diva to the waiter. Damn, you already know I'm gonna be a diva with me. um, um, yeah. Okay, that's all good things. All right. So I guess is it my turn?
Yeah.
You guys want the truth? All right. The biggest turnoffs when it comes to men. I think that the three biggest turnoffs when it comes to men today, modern day 2021, is number one is women who are very masculine, right? A lot of women today are not feminine no more. So that's a very big turnoff, and I tell these women all the time. And a lot of women get mad, but I tell women all the time, like men do not, especially masculine men. I'm not talking about beta submissive men. I'm talking about the masculine men, the type of men that most women. If you ask most women, they always want the strong, ambitious, confident type of men. So you're talking about the masculine men. So masculine men, they're always looking for a woman's femininity. So one of the biggest turnoffs for masculine men is they don't want the masculine woman that's very strong, independent, that's saying, I don't need a man. I can do everything on my own. I'm like, okay, all right, be alone. All right. So yes, so women are very masculine. They're not in tune with their femininity. And like I said, I'll like just to bring up what we talked about before. There's nothing wrong with being a confident and ambitious and independent woman and being successful in your career. Just understand that when you come home to your man and you're with your man, he wants that femininity from a woman, as a woman. So masculine is one of them. Number two, hoes. If you're a hoe, hell no. Very women who are promiscuous, and if that's one of the biggest things for men is like no man wants to be with a woman that's slept around and been used and being around with other men and are very promiscuous. So we don't, you probably you guys hear it all the time from guys, right? I don't like hoes, so we don't want to wife up a hoe. So that's the second thing, especially today's modern day dating, where casual sex is very normalized now. Premarital sex is very normalized now. So women are more sexual active than ever, and that's one of the things I see. Where I have friends right now that are very beautiful women, but they have a reputation, and no guy wants to be with them. And I tell them directly. I tell them straight up, like, look, that's why. That's why no guy wants to come around. Because one of the reasons why promiscuity, why men don't like women who are very promiscuous, is because paternity is important for us. Like they just want confidence that their baby is mine, and I don't want any kind of doubt. Like, oh, hopefully it's my baby. So that's the second thing, and the third thing, I would say, and I'm just being honest right now, very objective, is like one of the things that would distract a lot of men is if you have kids. And I know a lot of you ladies have kids. Is just a lot of men out there prefer to take care of their own kids. So if you're a single mom, and shout out to all the single moms out there and you guys as well, but it's very difficult for a guy that's very masculine to take the responsibility of another man's child, right? So because most guys will want to take care of their own children, and that's one of the if you want the honest truth, those are three things I see today that's happening right now that's gonna deter a lot of men if you have those type of things. I'm not saying that there are men out there that can handle that. But I'm just saying, for most men, if you ask them, if a guy had an option to be with the woman that he can create his own kids and take care of it, or be with the woman that he has to handle responsibility, I would say 9 out of 10 guys would say, "Oh, I'd rather just take care of my own kids." But yeah, those are 3 things, in my opinion, that stops a lot of guys today from wifing and committing long term to a lot of women out. What do you guys think? What's your thoughts? Anybody? Yes, agree? No?
I mean, the part about the kids, it's like, it's understandable.
Yeah.
But is that really a deal breaker?
Yes, for a lot of men, yes. For a lot of men, yes.
That's
It's hard. Yeah, it's like it's just really.
It's
yeah,
like you can meet the woman of your dreams.
Yeah.
She has everything that you're looking for, but has children.
It's just very tough, right? Because the kids, it's gonna be very complicated. Because having a relationship with a single mom is more complicated than having a relationship with a woman that has no kids. Because when you have go ahead.
With one of my friends, he was talking to a mom who had 2 kids, and so I asked him, I was just like, I said, do you see her any differently, or would you see her any differently if she didn't have kids? He said, absolutely. He said, because she is who she is because of her kids. Like, it's like he says that, like, she's loving. She learned how to be loving because of her kids. She learned how to be financially stable because of her kids. Like, if it wasn't for her kids, how would she be right now? And so I was just like, would you want to later on, be a part of her kids' life? He goes, absolutely. So it's just like, I get his mentality, and I honestly get both sides, because I'm a person who thinks both inside and outside the box. I get both sides. So if you were to put me in the middle of a debate, I can't choose a side. I'm sorry, I cannot. But that's sad. It's sad because it's like you can't help. It's like the woman couldn't help but have the child. Like, yes, we have that choice to have the child or not. What if religion came into play? What if her beliefs came into play? It's just like she couldn't help but have that child. So like the fact that that's a deal breaker, like, I get it, but at the same time, that's sad.
But you just have to understand, for like a lot of guys, like, it's just like, if we had it's just taking care of a kid that's not mine, right?
Yeah.
So for women, you may not say it that way, because that kid is yours. That genetically, biology is yours. But that guy, he has that's none of my, it's not for me. So
I think I only really feel that way because of my kids' father, because of the way he's treating his kids. And I'm also I'm also thinking of how his girlfriend now is thinking about the kids and him as a father. It's like, I can't help but have that mentality because I'm going through a divorce with children. So it's hard. It's hard to think of it a certain way rather than, just both sides.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the quality of the woman is less than a single mom. The quality of a woman who a single mom is less than a woman that's single. No, I know a lot of great single mom. All I'm saying is the amount of work you have to put in, right? Because if you're gonna date a single mom, right, not only he has to date you, but he also has to build a relationship with those kids, and that can be very difficult. I'm just saying, dating a single mom provides a lot of complexity and more responsibility than just being with a woman that has no kids and you can just have your own kids with. So for a lot of guys, they see, wow, like they understand that there's a lot of work and responsibility that goes with dating a mom that's dating a single mom. With a lot of those things, so that he can avoid a lot of those responsibilities and things he has to deal with you, just being with a woman that has no kids. But like I said, the man loves you enough great, but men understand that number one, like most men don't want to raise another man's child, and men just understand that it's very difficult. It's very difficult. It's gonna be a lot more difficult to date a single mom. And plus, if you're a single mom, you already want a man that's already complete. Like he's about his life, but he's not willing to not willing to deal with bullshit. So a lot of men is like, it's easy to date a woman that's single because because he doesn't have to have his life together to be with a single woman. But for single moms, you all want a man that wants his life together because you have kids now. So you have multiple kids. I'm sure you're gonna be with him. So he has to have his life straight. So for men, it's just a lot of complexity that come with it. And there are men out there that do it. Yeah, great. Yeah. But it's just if most men, I know most men won't do it. As soon as they find out that you have kids, they're just like, oh man, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of responsibility, and they're probably not ready.
I would make sure that that's the first thing I say.
That's why I say, like, bring it up in the first thing so that way you don't waste your time. And yeah. Anybody else want to answer that?
I mean, I feel like you have like everyone's different. Everyone have their different tastes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with you, it's just different. Like, and it's not like it's in general. Like, not everyone will take their kids. I mean, the kids. I think it's just that, like, I mean, everyone has fantasies, right? Like, let's see, for me, I have always wanted like someone that like I get married and I have my own kids, but then like I find out that like I find a person that already has kids, that has been married, that has been living with someone already. So it's like, it's not like, I just feel that it's not special for me, right? That's how I feel. But I feel like everyone thinks differently. So that's how I think. Maybe you just want like, like someone that doesn't have kids, that like maybe like it's just your own because you have always wanted that.
No, I mean, I'll be upfront. If you ask men, right, would you want to raise somebody else's kid, or would you want to raise your own kids? I guarantee you, majority of men, we want to raise their own kids. It's a tough thing to raise another man's child. It's just a tough thing to do. And I mean, I'm not saying it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is tough, to raise a kid that's not yours. And then, like I said, there's a lot of challenges that comes. There's a lot of things that a single mom will expect out of a man dating her, because she has kids and it's different responsibilities to expect from that man. Then you won't have to deal with those responsibilities with a woman that's single and has no kids. So it just really comes down to what's the easiest option. And for most men, it's just easier for them to date a woman that's single. But it takes a specific type of man to date a woman that is a single woman. And I think the last time I checked was I think in America, the 50% of single moms are never been married before. So so these are women that are single moms, but the men and the biological father did not propose. So that's what I know a lot of beautiful women right now. It's just like they're good women. It's just they're single moms, and then the men it's just really hard for men to do that. So yeah. Anything you guys want to add to that? All right, Ashley.
For the ladies, would you guys date a single dad?
Absolutely.
Because I would. I definitely would.
Yep.
Yeah, I have. But it just doesn't work. It's like the guy wasn't ready for a relationship, so it was hard. So I don't know.
Yeah. But you know why women are more women are more willing to date single dads than guys are willing to date a single mom?
Yeah. Because then we would know how they would be treating our kids. We would know we know that caring side of him. We know that he would be able to take care of a family because of the way that he would raise his children.
Yeah. Okay. Leah?
and we don't.
Oh.
That's the maternity side of us. Like that's the maternal side.
Yeah.
We tend to be like, oh, that's really cute, you know, like what if he does this with our son or our daughter, this and that, rather than, you know, because we don't have that mentality of, oh, that's another woman's child. We don't have that mentality. We have that maternal side of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the man, he's gonna think of the struggle. He's gonna think of the hardship because, you know, he has to raise another man's child.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, Leah.
Yeah, I would definitely date a single dad because for me, I mean, at least if he's showing that he's responsible for his own,
Mm-hmm.
you know, related to what Ashley's saying, then you'd know that he would be capable of supporting, you know, not just you and yours, but like if you have children in the future together. But
Mm-hmm.
also just learning that like this man actually has a heart.
Yeah.
And he's actually serious. Like if he's committed and responsible, then judging by
Okay.
how he dad, it's an easy one.
Okay. All right. No worries. So we'll let everybody ask one last question, and then we'll conclude the podcast for the night. So ladies, bring out what's the last question. Don't be afraid. I feel like everybody. I want some good topics. I want some good questions. So yeah, I'll go down the list for all you guys, and then just ask me. Everybody gets a chance to ask one more question, and we'll just finish up the podcast with that. Carla, what's your last question for the night?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you.
I already ran out of questions.
All right, Leah, what's your last question for the night?
Okay, so I have a question. I'm just trying to figure out how to word it where it's not completely long and I don't have to tell my life story.
Go ahead.
Okay, the question is, so like say if you were like in a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then your partner like cheats on you.
Mm-hmm.
And like he'll say it's your fault because you're so clingy. I have a question about that, but like, how is that my fault because I'm so clingy? Like, that's my question, I guess. Like, I mean, you know, didn't you say like masculine men want like a feminine woman? Was I like too feminine or something? Like,
No, that has nothing to do with his masculinity. That just if you cheated and he blames it on you, he's manipulative and toxic. You know, that's just the way. I mean, yeah, I mean, cheating has nothing to do with like a masculine man. Masculine is just like a guy that's confident, ambitious, but when it comes to like just terrible behaviors, like you mentioned, like, you know, he cheated and he's blaming that on you, and that's it's not about masculinity. That's just a bad human being.
I read I was listening to like a podcast earlier, and
Yeah.
it was one lady saying how she too long.
Yeah.
But, like, I guess my main question was like, can being too clingy to someone cause them to find someone else?
I mean, if somebody cheated on you, right? It's either the especially for guys, it either means that you were just the wrong person, or like I said, they just you're not the woman for him, and what you're offering a woman is not enough for him. He has to seek it somewhere else.
Understand.
So that's just
Yeah,
you know. Go ahead, Ashley.
With my situation, I'm in that situation. Okay,
Yeah.
so he for the longest time has told me that the multiple women that he's talked to over the years was all because of me and how controlling I could be and how controlling I was. Now, I was controlling because of all of the women that he was talking to. I thought that, if I could control it, he wouldn't do it. No, it pushed him even further to go ahead and talk to them. And he said that he said that it was just me being controlling, and I thought I wasn't controlling. I thought, the more love I show him, the more that he wouldn't want to go ahead and look for it somewhere else. I was wrong in that. No matter what a man does, it's not on you. It's not. It's all on the man, because the man has the ability to do it. If he has the ability to do it, he will do it. If he has the mentality to do it, he will do it. And no matter what you do, you cannot control that. That's the thing that I learned. You cannot control it. So the fact that he couldn't control it himself, it wasn't on you.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It's all on him. He has the choice. He made his choice, and the choice was to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, Leah, like, you can't control somebody's loyalty. It's either they're loyal or not, right? There's no in between. There's no gray area when it comes to loyalty. And you know what? It's because of this. No, it's like either you're loyal to that person or you're not loyal to that person. And because if you're loyal to that person, you really love that person. Then we all know relationships up and down. And I don't want to put the blame all on the men, because there's always two sides to a story. So there are, there's always another side of from the woman and the man. But I'm just saying is if both sides are genuinely in love with each other and they're both loyal to each other, then you would make it work, right? You're gonna go through ups and downs, but you're not gonna look for it somewhere else. It's just, it has nothing to do with its masculinity as a man. It's just him as a human being. That either you were the person, you want the person for him, or like I said, he was already like that. He wasn't, when you got with him, he wasn't even committed to you from the very start. So and unfortunately, yeah, it happens like that. Sometimes people go into relationships and then have kids, and it is what it is. But life, But yeah, it's and the fact that you said the fact that you blame it on you, that's a whole lot of next level of narcissism right there. Trying to gaslight you.
Right.
Well, no, I mean, even if you were clinging, right? That's not a. I mean, if a guy really loves you, like, okay, like when you say clinging, like are you always? Like, are you? What can you define clinging? What does clinging mean for you?
Like, I want to sit next to you all the time. I want to, like, it's not like the whole controlling thing. It's just like you want attention. You want attention. Of course, I want attention. But
yeah, but that's good. Yeah, I was just saying.
Like giving the person attention. Like, I like to give,
Yeah. So like being clingy. If too much cleanliness, but I'm not saying that's not a reason why for the man to be like, you know what, I'm gonna go cheat because this is crazy. Like, if you just want, that's like, if you just wanted attention, and then yeah, like if you really loved you, communicate that with him, and then you guys will figure it out. Like, how can you give you the attention from him once, or maybe if you were too much clingy, he'll communicate that with you. Like, okay, I understand you're cleaning, but can you just give me some space? And sometimes you must say sometimes it works out like, but that's not a reason why a man will like, you know what, this woman is just wants me to, he just always wants to be next to me, always wants to show me love, and I'm gonna just totally cheat. That's not the reason why he cheated. It was because you were clinging. He just, like I said,
cheated because he wanted to.
He wanted to cheat, and he wasn't satisfied with you. And he didn't get what he wanted out of you, and he looked for anywhere else, and there wasn't much loyalty there from the beginning. So that's just, I mean, that's what it was. Yeah. It's not it's not because you were clingy. I never heard guys like, oh yeah, I cheated on her because like she's just too clingy. Especially if you were married, but you talk about if you were married with this person, like, no, like that's a full commitment. Like, you have to make it work. All right. Okay. So that was Leah's question. Last question, Ashley. What's your last question? Carla, I didn't forget about you. Don't forget. I can see your face. But have that question.
I don't know. It's
have
like
that
12
question
p.m.
ready.
here. I'm like,
All right. I won't come back to you, and then go ahead. Ask you last question.
I might be asleep.
Just, why do you think people stay in relationships but cheat? Like, and they don't want an open relationship or anything, but they still cheat.
Okay. Why do people stay? There can be a variety of reasons, but I think one of the main reasons why people stay in well, 2 or 3 reasons, but one of them sometimes people is when you invest so much time into a relationship, a lot of people just it's being too long together, right? And you're like, you know what, how can I do? A lot of people have like, we're married, we've been together for a long time, and wait, you're saying for why would a person cheat even if you're with somebody for a long time? Is that what you're saying?
Like, if you're gonna be in a relationship, why and not leave that person? Like, you know for a fact that you're not gonna leave that person, but you still cheat, and you know, and like that person. Let's say that person says, you know, let's have an open relationship, and then they still say no, but still cheat.
Okay. Why would a person do that?
Yeah. Why do you think that person would still stay in the relationship?
Well, it depends on what was coming from the man or the woman. What would a man or a woman do? Both. So why would somebody still stay in a relationship even though they cheated? Okay. I think for a lot of people it's just like when you invested so much time, like you invested so much time with somebody and then they cheated, and they're like, you know what, and depending if they got caught or not, you know, if they didn't get caught, they'll just keep doing it. But they just realize that it's gonna be more difficult. Well, it's gonna cost. It's much easier just to keep cheating and not telling them, because if you, go ahead, Carla.
I feel like they're just selfish because I mean, they know that they know what they have, like they know what they have, and they're just scared of being alone. And by them doing that, it's just that like they're just gonna be alone. They're just gonna have like the benefit of having someone that like, you know, like had like, and I feel like that's because they're selfish.
No, I think it's different if you're married with kids, right? So if you're single, a long-term relationship. I mean, if you're single and you're in a relationship with somebody and have no kids, that's a whole different avenue. But if you have kids and married to somebody, there's a lot more to lose with that somebody if you end up telling them the truth. You have to get a divorce, get the kids, that you're gonna pick up the kids. So a lot of people are like, man, they're with somebody they married, they're thinking in mind, oh, you know what, I don't love this person no more. But of course they realize is like you had kids with this person, and they just know that it's gonna be more. They have a lot more to lose if you try to break this up, get divorced, families, you know, family gets involved, people think some way, society get judged, whatever, and it's much better just to cheat and not tell that person, than telling them, hey, we should break this up, you know, because there's a lot more to lose. There's a lot more things that's gonna happen if the kids are involved. Of course, like they may not be in love with you, but they may still be like in love with their kids. You know what? I don't.
The idea.
Yeah, the idea. You know what? I don't want to break up my family, because a lot of women do that, right? Like they know they're. I've talked to a lot of women where they know their husband is cheating, but they don't want to break up their family. You know, they don't want their child to grow up without a father, so they rather, you know what? I'd rather just stick this out, and at least my kids will have a father, and in his life, and not break it up, even though she knows he's cheating. So when you're married, kids come into that, it's just to make it more. It's not like if you're single and you're with another person that's single and no kids. If he's cheating, you just move on to the next person. There's nothing there to hold you back, right? But when you have kids involved in marriage and you're married to this person, that's that makes it more difficult to leave, because you have responsibility that's going to hold you back, and that's going to cause a lot more issues and stuff. So that's what I would say. I don't think that's going to be an issue with somebody if you're single, because if you're single and they're single and you have no kids, they're cheating, to leave, move on to the next person. But if there's kids involved, it makes it more. It's like it's not the same, and especially if you're married with this person. So, yeah, that's my thought. Leah, anything you want to add to that? My last question.
I think y'all have pretty much said everything I could think of.
Mhm.
I think also just to add on to that is just the fear of not, I guess just like the fear, like you said, fear of being alone or the fear of like not finding like some.
Yeah, sometimes when you invest your time with somebody for a long time, like you're used to them. And the fact that you have to go back out there and find somebody else, that can cause a lot of people like uncertainty, right? Oh man, like I've been with this person for 10 years. That's the only person I've dated my whole life. That's the only person I've known my whole life. Now I have to go out there to the modern day dating market, which is modern dating is crazy. And have to go out there and be vulnerable again and be open. It can be put myself up there and be vulnerable again to somebody I don't know. That can cause a lot of people like, man, you know what? I'd rather just stick with this because I know this pain. I think I read a quote yesterday, a couple of days ago, said a lot of people would rather stick with a known pain than go into unknown peace.
Right.
So that known pain is more comfortable instead of putting yourself there and something that's not uncertain and going back and trying to find, go back to the process of dating somebody, finding somebody again. So sometimes it's just easier to stick with that person, even though it's hurting you or cheating on you. Sadly, that's like. I mean, I'm just saying, sadly, that's a reality for some people.
Yeah.
It's just yeah. All right, and yes, and Carla, anything, or you're just ready to sleep?
No, I guess just my problem right now is just like whenever it comes to dating, like I had a really, really good relationship that I did everything for the man, and I don't know, like he was just, perfect in my eyes, and then like he just, I don't know, it's just like a long story, like I'm not gonna get into it. But he's just like very like successful in everything. He's like everything I ever wanted. And he has everything, like he's very smart, he's successful, and we dated for 2 years and everything, but then that didn't work out. I am single, and then it's just like whenever I try to, or I've been dating other people, I never find the same thing, and it's just like, I don't know, it just makes me sad.
All right.
And I'm always looking for like someone that looks at like him, and or not like that looks like him, like, but it's kind of the same as him, like, or it was the same thing. Like I'm trying to look for like the same connection that I have with him, with other people or whatever, and it's just hard.
Okay.
And I have found like other people that are like kind of like similar, but then it's like they're either like they have a girlfriend, or it's just like, something like not happening.
Okay.
That's just my only thing.
Hey, Carla, to conclude the podcast, can I give you some like brotherly tough love? just based everything I've heard you say, it just sounds like that you haven't moved from the guy in the past, and you haven't healed from that. And the fact that you said that you're still when you meet men, you're looking for men that was like your ex, right? And the thing is, every man is different, and you can't expect a man to be another man. You have to love him as he is. And so I think that's one of the things that's stopping you, because you haven't really fully healed. You can't expect a man to be your ex. Like your ex is your ex, and the new man is going to come into your life. That's his own man. And the fact that you're comparing him, that's what I believe. That's one of the major reasons that can be a barrier for you. Instead of just healing, go through the healing process, let go of your past relationships, or let go of a lot of negative things that you from the past, and just be open to somebody brand new that's going to come into your life and have the optimistic attitude and abundant mindset that there is a man out there for you that will love you and appreciate you and be everything for you, and you don't have to compare. And he's going to be his own man, and he can be better than the man that you had. I feel like I feel like a part of you feel like that the man that you had in the past is your best option. That was like the best you can get. And I'm here to tell you that there's somebody better out there. Don't feel like that's the best I had and you messed up. if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. If it was meant to be, it should. If it was meant to be, it would have happened. If it not, then
That's
it,
true.
was meant to be. And know there's
Mhm.
something out there better. And I mean, that's just. I just want to say that with love.
Thank you. No, yeah, I know.
And yeah, and just be at peace with yourself being single, and just work on yourself and on what you're trying to do as a woman, and it will come. It will come naturally. Like love is not something you find; it's something you attract.
Mhm. That's true. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
So just have to say that. That's all. Stop thinking about your ex.
God, it's just that the qualities.
Yeah, no, you can't even think about his qualities or it's like stop like anything like don't like anything that reminded you of him, you gotta eliminate that from your life. Like anything like just any man that's gonna come to your life is gonna be his own man.
No, yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like I don't know. I'm over him. Like I don't know, but it's just like the qualities that I guess I don't know.
Well, the fact that you brought him up, that's how I know you're not over him. You still brought him up. If you already moved away from him, you wouldn't even brought him up.
That's true.
Cut him off. All right. Yes, ladies, thank you so much.
No, I was gonna say he has a girlfriend now.
That's more the reason to F that dude. Move on to the next.
That's
All right.
fine.
All right. Yeah, ladies, we've made it to the conclusion of the podcast. I just want to say thank you so much. Everybody's constantly watching right now, and thank you so much to Nina for her donation, super chat donation. And ladies, yeah, the last question I'm going to ask you guys. I just want to ask you guys, what's your thoughts on the podcast for tonight's podcast, and what's your take? What did you get out of it? Did you get anything from it? Yes, no, maybe. I'm just interested to hear what did you take from today's podcast? And I'll start with you, or Ashley.
I mean, it was good insight on both men and women's side of the dating aspect and what certain people look for and what certain people think of how the other gender thinks about certain things.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Okay, thank you. Leah, what did you take away from today's podcast?
Lots of things, but I think the biggest thing that was just like an aha moment for me was when Ashley was sharing what your friend had said about how he would date a single mom because she is who she is because of her children. And I just realized, like, I'm not perfect, but I am who I am because of my kids, and that's why, but then also at the same time it goes for like men too. So I'm trying to take that and then put on like my lens and like look at it towards men as well, like realizing that like just to be like open, for me to be open-minded about other people and their children as well. Not that I'm not, I am, but it's just, it was a great perspective. Thank you for bringing that up.
No worries. All right, thank you. And last but not least, Carla, what was your thoughts about tonight's podcast?
Well, I mean, it was very nice, like, because everyone has different perspective of like things and stuff, and like, I mean, it just gives me more knowledge about like people's mind and like how they feel about certain things, and I'm more like aware of it maybe because I don't have kids or anything, so it's like
Okay. All right, no worries. All right, thank you so much, ladies, for being part of our part of this tonight's session. Shout out to all you ladies. Thank you so much. Drop some comments below. I'll definitely put down their social media infos. A lot of these ladies are doing great things on social media, so definitely follow all these ladies and their TikToks. I know a lot of them got a big following on TikTok, so definitely shout out to all these ladies. And also, and I know all these ladies are single, so if you want to shoot your shot, go ahead. If you're the man, if you're the type of man that they mentioned and you're looking for commitment, I think, why not, right? Why not? But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. See you. We do this every single Saturday, and I'll see you guys next Saturday. Much love to you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and start the live, and let me talk to you guys right after. Give me 1 second. Say goodbye, everybody. Peace,
Bye.
y'all.